One of the things that's striking me in all of this conversation that is not always comfortable for people in leadership positions, whether leaders or not leaders, people in leadership positions, and that's communication, asking people questions, and telling people where you want to go. You know, it's tough to get everybody rowing in the same direction if you haven't said we're aiming at that thing right there, and you're just looking at them and you're individually saying, hey, Chad, I need you to turn a little bit, you know, as opposed to here's where we are. But that's scary. It's scary to put your vision out there as a leader. How do you suggest people kind of deal with that? The fear of I guess at the end of the day, that's fear of failure, right?
It is fear of failure, fear of people not buying into you or not buying into your vision. And I think it's saying, it's reminding yourself, number one, if I'm charged with leading these people, part of my responsibility is casting a vision and sharing a vision that they want to run after. And if some of them don't want to run after it, that's okay, right? Don't put unhealthy expectations. It's like, I'm going to lay out this vision and everyone's going to be like, yes, let's go. Like, not going to happen. It never happens. But we go the opposite direction of saying, I'm going to lay out this vision and everyone's going to think it's terrible. Nobody's going to like it. Well, that's not true either. But to say like, okay, I've got this team, this organization, this whatever that I'm charged with leading and caring for. What do I actually want for this team? What's possible for this team? What would success look like? And it should challenge them. It should scare them. It should make them uncomfortable, right? That's what visions do. It's like, hey, we're here. I think we can be all the way over here. Or like, we're on base camp of Everest. I think we can get to the summit. Here's what that looks like. And so to cast a compelling vision of that future, but also why it matters for them. So to take it from the mountaintop to them personally and say, here's why it matters for you. Here's what you get when we get there. And so sharing that compelling vision, because that's what people need, something to be excited about and something to be interested in, something to pursue in order to give more than they've ever given. Right. Otherwise, we're going to get average effort, average expectations, average commitment, and say, no, it's like every football team at the beginning of the season, their vision is to win a championship, which is fine. Right. But the point is like that challenge, like one team's going to win, but that's going to, if you really want that demands more. And people are like, okay, yeah, that's something I didn't know that was even possible. Sometimes it's like people don't have a vision for themselves. So for you to help establish that vision, they're like, I've never known anything like that. I didn't know I could dream that way. Didn't know that I could operate on that level. And so I think getting the fear is real, but it's act like you belong. Like you're in that leadership position for a reason. It's not fake it till you make it. It's act like you belong. You're in that room. So show up with power, show up with purpose, show up with intentionality, give yourself a pep talk. And it's fascinating because the personality plays such a role in this. I've worked with high level leaders who are just quieter personalities, who really doubt themselves. And so I had an athletic director one time, very successful, multiple sports, either winning conference and competing for national titles. But they reported to a vice president on the university side. It was a very loud personality, overwhelming, overbearing. And so this AD was like, I'm just getting destroyed in every meeting. And I'm like, but look at all the success that your actual department is having. Yeah. And I said, you're getting destroyed because you're not confident in who you are. And I said, what you need to do before you go into the next meeting, take the 15 minutes before and write down every single accomplishment that has happened under your leadership. I go, now I know your person. I know like you're like, oh, I'm not responsible. I'm not saying you need to claim responsibility for every single bit of success, but they've happened under your leadership. You're leading these coaches. You're leading these administrators. You're leading the development guy who's doing amazing in fundraising. Like it's all happening under your watch. So read that list off and then walk into that meeting with confidence. And when you get challenged by that person, you're like, well, I hear you, but here, we've done this. 3 months in, he calls and he goes, I just walked out of a meeting with our, executive cabinet from campus. And one of the ladies who was on the cabinet, he goes, she pulled me aside. She goes, I don't know what's happened the last 3 months, but you're a different person. Because he was just walking in with confidence, acting like he belonged. And so I think to your point, we have to deal with our fear and realize that it's keeping us small. It's causing us to play it safe, which is actually how you lose everything. Yeah. Right. It's self-preservation. And so this being afraid of losing the team or losing influence, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a football player running down the sideline and receiver like, don't drop it. You're going to drop it because you're focused on not failing as opposed to succeeding, So I think when you believe in your vision, and hyping yourself up a little bit, so to speak, then you can share like that transfer of belief will go into the team. And again, not 100% of them,